This is TechVibe Radio, your front row seat to Pittsburgh's technology and innovation economy. TechVibe is brought to you by Compunetics at compunetics.com, Chorus Call at choruscall.com, Highmark at highmark.com, Huntington Bank at huntington.com, Kindling at thekindlingagency.com, PNC Bank at pnc.com, and Savior at savior.com. TechVibe proudly broadcasts from the Huntington Bank studios. Good morning, everybody. Audrey, Sunday morning. Happy to see you here.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Yeah, end of the month. We're like full blown into the holiday seasons right now.
You really love your calendar month stuff.
I do. I gotta track it, man. Time's going by fast.
Always is a time machine.
I can see that.
I'm trying my best. Audrey, we're really excited today. We have friends and family of the Tech Council
Oh, I love that.
hanging out with us today,
Yes, we
without a
do.
doubt. And this is someone I think everybody needs to know. She's working on some pretty cool stuff, and she keeps growing, finding new connections, just doing a lot. I'm talking about Ashley Priore, and she's the founder and president and CEO of Queens Gambit, a national nonprofit using chess to equip 2,000 plus youth annually. This is like a lot of kids out there with critical thinking, confidence, and leadership skills all through playing chess. And she has other ventures with Queenside going on. There's a lot going on. It's all inspired by chess, which I think is cool. I know, Audrey, you're a huge chess fan because you're like...
Well, I'm a huge fan.
You're a huge fan. And
Thank you.
Are you a chess player, Audrey, at all?
Very basic.
Yeah, me too. I was
Very
telling
basic.
Ashley ahead of time, I
Yeah.
had Simpsons chess for
Very
like about
basic.
6 months.
I love it.
But I wanted to get into it, but
I'll do it again.
I don't have the patience.
Let's pull up. I have a chess table that I can bring in.
I still have Simpsons
We can
chess.
do that.
We could do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I feel like Audrey's secretly very good at chess. She just doesn't want to tell me.
She
I
has to be
think-
really good at chess.
So let's dive right in.
Checkmate.
Yeah.
Do we start like when you were a little baby?
Yeah.
Do we start there?
We can. I think we can go back to the beginning when I knew that it was really impactful.
Yeah. What got you into chess in the first place?
I come from a family of chess players. And what's really interesting is that my mom never learned how to play chess. She never learned. She didn't have anyone in her life to teach her. So she said to my dad before they got married, she said, we have kids. I need you to do one thing. I need you to teach them how to play chess. Because she was fascinated by the game. She loved it. So my dad taught my brothers. I have 3 older siblings. And they learned how to play. They loved it. They started to compete. And then one day I said, can I learn? Why am I not learning how to play chess?
Yeah.
My brothers didn't want to be bothered. They were like, you know what? It'll be fine. She'll learn how to play. So my dad sat me down. I played him and I won. And I had no formal lesson.
Really? Okay.
But
so
that's because it's all observation.
so you've been watching all the
It's
time.
just watching. I was watching how they were moving the pieces. And one of the things I think is so interesting about when you're with our chess kids when they're playing is that they're seeing what other kids are doing and they're wondering like, why did you move there? Right? Or how does this piece move and why'd you go there? Right? So it's very much observation and very much, I think, this idea that, it's fascinating for kids. I mean, they see kings and queens, they see these pieces and they're like, I want to learn that. I'm interested in that. Right? So when you foster that, then I think it really dives into some interesting areas.
It's like the OG video game, right?
It is, yes.
For lack of a better term.
Right, it is,
It's
yeah.
got all the moves of classic video games. So you become obsessed with chess, something you carried through your entire life.
Yeah.
And then the first thing you started was Queen's Gambit, correct? Is that
Yeah.
what came first when you said, I want to make chess part of my life? Yeah.
Right. So I did competitive chess for about 10 years. And the thing with the competitive chess space is that if you want to be a competitive chess player, you're going to have to train like any other sport. And I made the decision to say, you know what, I want to teach. I don't want to necessarily do the whole competition scene. And I had so many different interests. So I said, you know what, I'm going to park the competitive side and I'm going to go into teaching and coaching.
Very cool.
So I started to teach at the local library. That was the first class I taught. And, the library was so great because they were like, you know what, you're early in high school. At that point, I think it was like 8th grade. And they were like, if you want to come and teach a class.
Yeah.
And I was like, sure.
Whoa.
Why not? Right? So I did that. And one thing I noticed early on was that very male-dominated space.
100%.
Right.
Yeah.
But also, parents were a little bit curious as to why they should have their daughters learn chess.
Whoa.
So you have the story of how I'm teaching a class, and there's mom and dad, and there's a son and daughter. Son comes in. He's so excited to learn chess. Like, I'm really good at it, all these things. And then the daughter was like, yeah, I want to learn too. And the mom's, oh, I don't think this will be much of interest to you.
Oh, that's so heartbreaking when I hear stories
They won't
like
do it.
that.
I know.
And it just happens all the time, right? It's just,
All the time. So it was that I was going into this space and, you know what? We need to have a place where not only young women learn how to play chess, but it's also what chess teaches you. Because the kids I was
100%,
working with,
exactly.
amazing.
And how long ago did you start this up then? How long ago was that?
So first started teaching early 2010s, and Queens Gambit started in 2014.
Wow.
Right? And then
And you were how old?
14.
Oh my goodness, I love that.
Yeah, what were you doing when you were 14?
Well, let me tell you what I was doing when I was 14.
Oh, you were
Yeah.
Oh, you were coding.
I was
I
coding,
Forgot. I
yes.
forgot.
Coding.
That one.
Well.
Never mind.
Right.
You know,
We
much-
know you
not.
were.
Course not. But I think the young thing is important, right? Because when I went into
100%.
this space, I mean, chess is not only very male dominated, but it's also when you think of a chess club, what do you think of?
Males, nerdy
Men,
male guys.
yeah,
like-
smoking, right? In a small room, and they're
Or
playing chess.
outside. I was raised in New York. Everyone was outside.
Yeah,
It was mostly
the
men,
outdoor
right, too,
chicks.
right?
Yeah, the men were sitting in the park.
Sitting in
Right.
the park, and it was intimidating, right?
Not accessible.
It's not accessible. Or they're like, oh, come on, I can beat you, right? I can come on, play, and I'll beat you. And they had a lot of confidence, and that's great. And that's, of course, going into chess culture. I think it's so popular. So many people loved it. But at the same time, why couldn't we have an organization that was empowering young people?
Wow. And so 2,000 kids. Is that a year?
Do you ever track these kids?
Oh, yeah. I mean, so many of the kids that we work with go on to be our instructors. Because we have an interesting model where it's not just adults teaching chess, it's the kids that I've had so many chess students that have gone on to actually go in to teach the classes that we're leading.
I just think about how much chess can change a child's life. I mean, any human's life. I think at any point in your life, you could pick this up. But I think about when you're really young and you can get some of those skills to be thinking ahead, looking many moves ahead, realizing consequences to certain moves. I just think that can make such a difference in someone's life.
It really can.
Yeah.
It really can. So it wouldn't be a podcast if I don't mention Tom Brady. So I'm a huge football fan, and
Yes.
Tom Brady is
Okay.
the GOAT. Okay.
Right.
Yes, he's the GOAT,
That's
right?
good.
So
Well, not only
Steelers
is you on
fan
that.
too.
Okay, it's okay. It's okay.
But he had a big impact on my life, right? So she said, "Why don't you think about teaching NFL players how to play chess?"
Really?
So that was Audrey's
That's
idea. Okay, I give her that. That was Audrey's idea.
Nice.
And she
Audrey,
said
look
to
at
me-
this. My good. It's like you have a little protege going on.
know.
here,
She
kinda.
said-
What the heck?
She mentors me too.
I love it. That's back and forth. That's how it is. Yeah.
But she said that, right? And so then I was like, yeah. So the first thing I did was I said, okay, think back to when I was 14 and I was reaching out to Pittsburgh leaders. What should I do? So I reached out to tons of NFL teams and I was like, what if we bring chess in? And the first team, and this is kind of ironic, it
Okay.
was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, right?
When Brady was playing for the
So
Buccaneers.
he had just retired.
Oh.
I slightly missed him, but they still had his big statue thing. I was all excited.
You're
right?
all good
But
for that. Okay.
I reached out and I think they were like, you know what? We have guys that love chess here. Why don't you come in and do a session? And it sort of took off from there. So that's when Queenside started, which I always
Okay.
tell people the big difference. Queens Gambit, think youth empowerment, think grades K through 12,
Okay.
think how are we empowering the next generation of leaders through critical thinking skills. Queenside is, let's take it to the next level, because adults still need critical thinking.
I love that.
skills, too.
Very cool.
So how do you do strategic clarity through chess, but with sports teams, CEOs? Chess is very much people say it's a mirror for life, right? But what I view it as, the chessboard can open up so many possibilities for people. And it doesn't even have to be amazing at chess. That's not it. It's if you have an NFL player that's really struggling, or they're like, I'm not sure what I'm going to do next. I'm like getting up there and I'm not having the same scores as I used to have. When they sit down on a chessboard, they're like, wow, I can do this.
They can draw the parallels and see what's going on.
Yes.
This is a great place to take a break because I want to learn more about what's going on with Queenside, because I think for our listeners out there, first, if they have kids and they want to get them into chess,
You can go to qgchess.org or go all over social media, Queens Gambit Pittsburgh, and we'll reach out and connect.
excellent. And we get back, we'll talk about the adult side of things, which I
Yes.
think is super cool. In case you just tuned in, we're talking to Ashley Priore from Queens Gambit and Queenside Ventures. Audrey, fun stuff.
Really cool.
Yeah, we'll be right back. This is Jonathan Kirsting.
And this is Audrey Rousseau.
We're from the Pittsburgh Tech Council. Go to pghtech.org and we'll see you on the flip side. A strong work culture is the invisible force that binds employees to each other, to the company, and to their work. It's linked to better business outcomes, happier employees, and increased retention. How we work and where we work continue to evolve in almost every way, yet our human need for connection and purpose remains. Help your employees connect and thrive by evolving your culture to support your team, regardless of how or where they work. So discover how the Kindling Culture Agency can transform your company's culture at sparksomething.big.com. That's the Kindling Culture Agency at sparksomething.big.com. Compunetics is the leading developer of unified voice, video, and data collaboration and conferencing applications for the service provider, government, and unique workflow applications. The Summit Olympus and Evergreen platforms, driven by their encrypted user interfaces, enable powerful and secure collaboration. Combined with world-class support and innovative professional services, Compunetics delivers the right solution every time. Learn more at compunetics.com. This is TechVibe Radio, your front row seat to Pittsburgh's technology and innovation economy. TechVibe is brought to you by Compunetics at compunetics.com, Chorus Call at choruscall.com, Highmark at highmark.com, Huntington Bank at huntington.com, Kindling at thekindlingagency.com, PNC Bank at pnc.com, and Savior at savior.com. TechVibe proudly broadcasts from the Huntington Bank studios. Audrey, I promise we're coming right back here, having a fun time. Sunday morning, a little bit of energy going on. We got to have a good time on TechVibe, right? We want to keep it up. In case you just joined us, we are talking to Lynn Priore of Queens Gambit and Queenside. And Audrey, I think I might be dusting off the old Simpsons chess set. It's got me a little inspired right now.
Yeah, it's great. I will get all confused.
Me too.
When those chess sets are like, when those chess sets have different animation on them, huh? Who are these characters?
Yeah. It's the same thing when you're playing online.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh.
That was not a rook.
It's not telling me where the pieces go.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But before we took a break, we were just talking about the adult side of and that sounds terrible to say that, but the idea of the chess for adults, which I think is so important. Obviously for kids, fantastic, but the idea that like CEOs, anyone out there can really just learn a lot about leadership, your own life, just managing your life and through chess. Tell us how do you work with people? Is this group classes, one-on-one?
Yeah,
how does this work?
It's so interesting too, because I'd have so many people say like on their website, right, they would have like chess pictures, right? Or then we're all about strategy. And then I'm like, it's time for chess players, I think, to sort of take that back, because when you ask somebody like, why are you, when they're like, oh, I'm playing chess, not checkers, I'd be like, well, what does that mean to you? And they couldn't answer it. Right? They're like, well, it's all in the strategy. And I'd be like, well, let's dig a little bit deeper in here. What does that mean?
Strategy?
Right?
You know, the strategy that I have right now.
Right. Because it could be anything, right? What I love about Queenside is that, yes, any adult can learn how to play chess. And I love that and I encourage it. But there's so many ways you can learn chess now. I mean, there's so many apps that you can download. There's ways that you can get into it. But how this is different is that it's really understanding what that leader is going through, or what we call their personal chessboard, right? So one of the first activities we do is I say, well, what piece do you think you are, right? Based on little knowledge you have of chess. And of course, without fail, they always say the king. And I'm like, okay, great. Well, it's interesting because sometimes they realize that they're like, they might be a pawn or a knight and they want to elevate into something else. Or they're like, who are my pawns? Who are my bishops and knights? Or maybe this staff member is a queen and I need to understand how to get them or elevate them into another role, right? So chess is very much the entryway, I think, into getting into deeper topics. So we start off truly just like we do when we're going into, a field, right? We're working with NFL players to when we're working with CEOs. It's very much you learn the basics of chess, right? It takes 10 minutes to go through 6 pieces. There's only 6 pieces.
I can never remember them.
I know, but that's what's so great is that they have the piece of paper on the side of them, and they're like, okay, I can refer.
You can refer, yeah, exactly.
Right? I always say when
this one goes this way, this one goes this way.
Yes. When I have chess teachers be like, okay, you have to memorize all these things. I'm like, everyone has so many things going on in their mind. Give them a piece of paper. I just want them to understand that it's how they're thinking about things. It's
Love
the
it.
thought process.
I love it. So you're making this very approachable then.
Right. So go in, learn the basics of chess, and then we take it a step further. And it's all about the type of level of engagement, how deep they want to get into it.
I'm telling you, Simpsons chess is going to be busted out so I can learn. But I mean, how long is an engagement then for something like this? I mean, this is something I feel like this isn't like you come in for an hour and then you're done. Maybe I think this is a multi visit.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. So typically we go into a group and we're working with them. First we get an hour. Some groups say I have 30 minutes where you can present to my team why they should learn chess. I'm like, that's okay, right? So I go in and I really pitch it to them, and most times people are interested and they say, okay, what can I do next? Typically it's one-on-one sessions with me, or we do a couple other engagement sessions, right? It's all about the level that they want to be engaged with. But I think something that's important here too is that, because chess, yes, it can be daunting at first, but it is 6 pieces. But there's chess in everything, right? Chess is everywhere, right? And I hear leaders saying automatically, they're like, oh, I should have been thinking this way, or I should have moved my piece here maybe instead. Like, they're already making chess connections. So it's not that they're being like a grandmaster level.
No, but you're just making these things that are making you better at life.
Yes.
Which goes into like leadership, Audrey.
Well, that's what this is, right? I mean, and it's not necessarily hierarchical leadership. It's personal leadership. It's control of your life, how you influence others, what you think about, what moves you make, and what impact that has.
Yes.
And, obviously, not everything is a direct result of a move, but pretty much lots of things in life are that way.
Yeah.
Right? For every action, there is a reaction.
Well, it's interesting because, Audrey, I've known you for 18 years, not that I'm counting. We've been in many meetings together planning things out, and I would think the way a chess player thinks, because you're always looking at not just what this immediate decision would make for this particular thing, but where that would play out in other areas of what we're doing something. And that's something that I've always kind of admired and tried to do in my life. No, seriously, because it's easy to make a snap decision and say, okay, get it done, but you never do that. You're always thinking a few moves around, and sometimes on that diagonal slant that you can do in chess, where you're like, oh, I didn't even know you could do that move.
Yes. See, you're already doing chess. You just said the bishop. You got it.
There it is. See, I'm not as bad as this as I think I am. Audrey, you wore off on me.
Right, but it's leaders make so many snap decisions, and I've had so many CEOs that are like, I will make a decision and then I'll regret it an hour later. And you take the time. It's slow. You're not on a clock. We're not doing, speed chess.
We're not doing speed chess.
And you can take the time to think through why you're making the decisions. And I think one of the reasons that, Audrey and I connect so well is because it is the conversations are, okay, if I do this, what happens? If I do this, what happens? Okay, how are they going to respond? It's a dialogue. It's a conversation. And I think that's why so many great leaders, when they think like chess players, they are successful.
I'm assuming, are you working with people just in Pittsburgh? I'm thinking people from across the country. I'm sure
Anywhere.
there's something you could probably like zoom in, or they fly out. Like,
Absolutely.
I'm sure you're pretty busy.
Right.
Yeah.
And I say that if somebody just comes to me like, I want to learn chess, I can give them all of the resources. But this is also for people I think that might want to be challenged a little bit too. Because it's not just learning chess. It's you really are going to understand like, what type of leader am I? What am I putting out into the world?
For me, when I think about this and listening to this conversation, I think we're in this world of this rapid Moore's law occurring at a pace faster than ever, right? And to me, it takes the noise out. So if I think...
Interesting. That makes a lot of sense.
Great.
Yeah.
Because it can be like everything around artificial intelligence, everything about machine learning. What are the myths? Who's debunking it? What's the tools to use? Is it really true? Is it, just going to be a bubble? Who's making the investment in what? Like in the world that Jonathan and I are in, it's just like it's just like a vortex. And so I often have to like take a deep breath and try to figure out where's the truth.
Yes.
That's so interesting because it brings back to what Ashley was just saying, which I thought was so cool, is the idea that it's not speed chess. It's not about being fast, but this gives you the space to calm down. But it is moving fast.
We're in a world that is moving like a tornado, and it's moving faster and faster. The tools are more ubiquitous each and every day. So how do you extract from that? That's what you learn when you hang out or have the opportunity to work with Ashley.
First off, you're working with the NFL, which is cool. And you've got some pretty cool awards. And you're working like with the governor's
commission.
Yeah. I mean, these are things. I mean, people just don't say, "Hey, do you want to happen to do this?" No, they know you're smart. And they want to bring your aptitudes to things like that. So that's got to be pretty rewarding. Be like, yeah, this is doing something.
Absolutely.
And you're doing your passion.
Absolutely. And I think it goes back to what Audrey and I talk a lot about, which is that intergenerational diversity component, right?
Love that
anyone
part too.
At the table can.
That's
can
so cool, because I think it's so easy for folks who are
Yes.
older to be like, I'm too old for that. Or someone too young saying, I'm too young for that. And it's no, we can all kind of link in here.
Also bridging the communication.
Yes.
Across the generation.
Absolutely.
I love it. Yeah.
And so if people want to know about you, you've got a couple of websites.
Yeah. for Queenside, it's just queensideventures.com. And of course, if I say that's for anyone that is over 18, I'd say that wants to get involved. And then there's qgchess.org. But truly, I mean, if you reach out to me, I want to hear from you. You can also find me on chess.com. I also think it's important for everyone to know is that if you put a chess puzzle into ChatGPT, it's not going to give you the answer.
Interesting.
It's going to add pieces that aren't there.
Really?
So chess is still, it can't, people are always like, will chess be solved? And I'm like, well, there's so many ways that you can solve it. It's infinite. But it's not about that. It's like the process, right?
That's it. Yeah, and you're
like,
bringing that process to people to make it
AI
actionable.
doesn't do the process.
It doesn't do the
Yet.
process. Yes, right? But
Until the singularity happens.
right. And it might add pieces, but like that's what's beautiful about chess is that if you have a puzzle, you have to figure it out yourself.
Perfect. Good stuff. Thanks for hanging out with us this
thank
morning.
you.
So
Very
much.
cool.
Thank you.
Audrey, I'm going into the attic. I'm digging out my Simpsons chess. It's going to be a good time.
We love it.
To remember who Ralph is. I think Ralph is a pawn, but we'll find that.
I love it. Is Bart the king?
Bart, I think, is the knight, if I'm not mistaken. I think. We'll double check. Maybe the
So
bishop.
curious now.
Well, I'll let you know. Great. Thanks for hanging out with us. You want more TechVibe Radio? My goodness, download us anytime you want. Wherever you get your podcasts, search for TechVibe or hang out with us next Sunday morning. We'll be here. Isn't that right, Audrey? We don't miss a beat. No way. All right. PGHtech.org, everybody. Pittsburgh Tech Council. See how much they love you by hitting right there. Jonathan Kirsting.
Audrey yourself.
Thanks for geeking out with us on TechVibe Radio. Tune in next Sunday for more tech and innovation stories right here from Pittsburgh. Get TechVibe wherever you get your podcasts and never miss a show. TechVibe is brought to you by Compunetics at compunetics.com, Chorus Call at choruscall.com, Highmark at highmark.com, Huntington Bank at huntington.com, Kindling Agency at thekindlingagency.com, PNC Bank at pnc.com, and Savior at savior.com. And we're always coming at you right from the Huntington Bank studio.